Hi guys, hope you guys are well. I do have a word for someone or for some people um that this may relate to. Here's the thing. I didn't get a specific um confirmation whether this was possibly my word or if this was someone else's word, but when I explain it to you, you're going to understand why. Regardless, I'm posting it because regardless, it's going to teach us something. Regardless, we're going to learn from it, okay? So, right before I went to bed last night, as I was dozing off, I saw a vision, and I saw a vision of a sign, and the sign said Western Union, okay? And as soon as I saw the Western Union sign, I rolled my eyes because I already know what that sign means. And if you guys been watching me in the past, you guys will know that I've already spoken to you guys about some of the things that I was battling with relating to my family and people from my family paying people in Jamaica to do witchcraft on me and to attack me, right? And to affect my life, right? So right away, I felt like that was my message when I saw the Western Union. And then I would say maybe about like 15 to 20 minutes of like dozing into my sleep, I saw big white letters that said, your mom, your mom. Again, I opened my eyes, I looked at the ceiling, and I'm like, I rolled my eyes again, like, oh my gosh, here we go again. Because I'm used to it. Like I said, for those of you guys that's been watching me, I've opened up to you guys plenty of times in the past, and I have openly admitted to you guys and told you guys that my mom has paid witches in Jamaica to attack me. My family is known for that. There are witches in my family, and they're very much known for obia. Like, they're very much known for doing obia. And this is something that's been in my bloodline. The women in my family, they're into that. And even if they're not doing it in their homes, they're communicating with people who do it. They're paying people who do it, right? So they're well known for that. And even back home, they're known for that, right? So when I saw your mom, I was like, oh, here we go again. And this is something that I'm used to it now. Like, I'm used to this happening because, again, this has happened my whole life. I've just accepted the fact that it's her and I can't sugarcoat that it's her. I've accepted that fact in 2020 when God has revealed it to me numerous times. But what made me, question whether this was actually a word for someone else was when, after I saw the words, your mom, God showed me a vision of one of my subscribers, and they were in my comment section, and they have a profile photo of their face, and they're smiling in the photo, and they have like black curly hair or black, some type of black puffy hair or curly hair, but they're smiling in the photo and they have teeth showing. And this viewer of mine, the subscriber, whoever you are, I know you're watching, I already know you're a good person, and I already know that you're very positive. I've never had a problem with you, and you're a very positive person. And every time I see your comment, like I see others' comments, I just know when people are connected to God. I know right away when I see someone's comment, like, yeah, that's a child of God. I just know. I can look at someone, it's like I can feel their heart, I can feel their spirit. And just like many viewers, how I have that experience with many viewers, this particular person with her face in the photo and smiling, I saw when I would see her comments pop up, I would start smiling like, oh, it's you, and I get excited when I see her because I know she's a beautiful spirit. So when I saw her in the vision pop up after I saw your mom and I saw her photo pop up, I knew God was showing me something and letting me know that this message connects to her. And this is why I said I wasn't sure if this was like my word, because why? This is my situation as well. But I also know that there's plenty of people out there who are going through the same thing, okay? Um, but again, after I saw this, I'm like, okay. I'm like, God, can you confirm to me, like, why you're showing me her? Is she a witness? Or am I the witness that you're showing this to, that's happening to her? Whatever's happening to her, I'm the witness, and you're showing me what's happening to her, and I'm just her witness, right? So I knew it had to do, for sure, with a witness, right? But I wasn't sure if it was her witnessing my situation, as in, like, God is revealing to her what's happening in my life and what my mom's been doing, because I've spoken to many viewers before that have contacted me via email or via text message if we've had coaching sessions before, and they would literally tell me that God was showing them visions of my mom, and they know how she looks, they describe how she looks, and they would tell me that God has been showing me what she's doing, right? But then there's people who I talk to who are going through the same thing, and God shows me their situation, right? So that I didn't get confirmed from God, whether it was my situation or her situation. But the point of the matter is, the reason why I'm posting it is because after I saw that, I heard God say, you're protected. So because I wasn't sure if it's my word or her word or someone else's word, and we're just witnesses, or she's a witness or I'm a witness, I'm like, I might as well post it, because it's not like I have to hide anything, because I've already spoken about this before, right? So I'm like, I might as well post it, and we can all learn from this. But I did see that there was another attempt last night. Whoever the word is for, could be my word, who knows? But the Lord let it be known that we are protected. And, you know, I just want to say that when it comes to situations like this, it's very hard, it's very difficult. However, I do want to let you know that if this isn't my word and this is your word, the person that I described in that photo, or whoever's watching this who's going to learn from this, just understand that things cannot happen behind your back and God not let it be known to other people who are connected to him. You have to know that there will be witnesses who are going to see what is happening in your life, despite if you believe it or not, okay? Don't ever feel like you're alone. Don't ever feel like no one's going to believe you. And even if no one believes you, just know that God will show people later on. And it's a very hard situation, especially when it's your own family, especially when, you know, they're good at hiding it, especially when it comes to things like this, people are very oblivious to the fact that this does exist. This is a thing. And the fact that I saw Western Union let me know that whoever they paid was overseas, somewhere at a different country, different state, place, right? And it is hard for people to understand this stuff exists. It is hard for people to understand this stuff is real. But I want to tell you something. God will always make sure, whether it's my word or your word, God will always make sure that there are witnesses that can see what's going on behind the scenes. Because oftentimes we feel alone when we go through things like this, and we feel like no one will ever believe us. Especially with that whole situation where I saw it said your mom. I can't speak for others who are going through this, but I can say this about my situation. Growing up, I was never believed when I would go through things. Like, my own parents would blame me for things, which I spoke about the other day. And when I was going through things like physical, emotional, mental abuse, even spiritual abuse that I was not aware of, I was called a liar when I would speak up about these things. So growing up, I was silenced into defending myself, and I was silenced because nobody believed me, right? And that's how my parents would make it be and make it seem to everyone else, is that I was a bad child, not speaking on the abuse that I was going through behind the scenes, because she was keeping it hidden. Okay, the way she was treating me, she was keeping it very secret, right? So when you are going through things pertaining to witchcraft, because there's no physical evidence, unless you catch them like red-handed, it's very hard to tell people these things. It's very hard to open up to people about these things. And the only way people will actually see the truth is if either they catch the person red-handed, or the person that they're paying opens up and tells people, or they admit it, or the Holy Spirit reveals it to people who can see in the spirit, other witnesses, right? And in this case, there's witnesses involved, whether it's my situation or your situation. There's witnesses involved, and there's witnesses that can see what's going down. Okay, so this is why I always try to tell you guys, like, whoever's going through anything like this, similar to this or like this, you don't have to worry about what if people don't believe you, what if people blame you, or what if people think you're crazy. You just have to have spiritual maturity and just know, like, just how much to say, and just know when to speak and when not to speak. And that's why a lot of times God will have us be silent until we have the full revelation, and until there's many witnesses that are also getting the same revelation. Therefore, when we do decide to speak, we have our evidence. Do you get what I'm saying? We're not speaking out of, just being angry or sad or frustrated. We are being smart about it. We are being mature about it. And I want to just say to anyone experiencing this, you are covered. You are protected. Just like I'm protected, you're protected. Okay? These people, they're not going to get away with what they're doing. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something. When I went downstairs today to make my tea, to get ready to leave, literally I was hearing the Lord whisper consequences. And I wasn't sure why he said that. So I wrote it in my phone. But it wasn't until I got in the car and I started driving, it clicked. And I'm like, oh, the consequences has to do with this word. Whether it's my word or your word or a bunch of people's words. Consequences is to let me know that people that do these things, there's consequences behind it. And I know it's a hurtful thing to go through. But I want to tell you something. If you are going through this, or if you are that lady that I'm talking about that's experiencing this as well, I want you to just understand the importance of forgiveness. Forgive whoever's doing this to you. Forgive the people that's paying them, and forgive the person that's being paid. Okay? I know it's hard to forgive when you're going through stuff like this, but can I tell you something? You have already won the battle. You have already won the fight. If you did not win, they wouldn't be doing this. They're doing this because they know you won already. They're doing this because they know you're winning. You're continuing to win. And what they're trying to do is they're just trying to slow you down. They're just trying to affect you. And you have to remember something, like I said to you guys, nobody can block your blessings. Nobody can block what God has for you. Who God blesses, no man can curse. If your heart is clean and you're doing the right thing and you're minding your business and people are just doing this to you, it's not going to work. They're not going to achieve what they're trying to achieve. If they wanted to achieve what they think they're going to achieve, it would have been achieved a long time ago. That's why they keep doing it, because they haven't achieved anything. The only thing they can do is slow you down. And they can only slow you down if you allow them to slow you down. As in, you let it get to you, you let it frustrate you, you let it get you angry. Again, I'm used to it by now. So when God shows me things like that relating to my family, I just roll my eyes. But because I wasn't sure if this was a word for someone else, I just roll my eyes because I'm used to it. Because I wasn't sure if it was my word or someone else's, I'm like, let me just post it, because I did see a vision of another lady, a woman that watches my channel. So this may just be her word, and we can all learn from it. But forgiveness is very important, because let me tell you something. That is how you're going to maintain your peace. It's not because for them, or, because you want to condone what they're doing. It's for your sake. It's for your peace. It's so you don't become slowed down. Okay? It's so your emotions are not tampered with. Once you have peace within your heart that, hey, you know what? This is just my obstacles. This is my circumstance. But God is covering me through it. God is protecting me. And no matter what, they're not going to stop what God has for me. There's no need for you to get angry. There's no need for you to be frustrated. You are obligated to feel hurt because it is a hurtful situation. But you have to understand that there's some people out there that have really messed things up for themselves in their lives. And instead of fixing it, instead of repenting and trying to do the right thing, they would prefer to blame you, to blame everybody else that looks like they're moving ahead in life. They would prefer to attack you and try to sabotage you because they feel like that's the only satisfaction they're going to get relating to their situation and their circumstances. That's the only satisfaction they're gonna get, is to see you go down, is to see you fail, is to see you not happy. Because why? They're not happy with themselves. Because why? They don't love themselves. Because why? They have not done any type of inner work. They have not healed. They have not repented. And they truly don't care about their own lives if they're doing this to the lives of other people. Okay? That is not your fault. That is something you have no control over. And this is what God taught me. And this is what I'm sharing with you. This is something you have no control over. You don't have control over someone else being unhappy because you're happy. You have no control over someone else choosing not to repent. You have no control over someone else being envious or jealous of you. You have no control over someone else choosing to blame you instead of taking responsibility for their own life and their own actions. You have no control over these things. Therefore, do not let people control your emotions and manipulate you out of receiving more for yourself, out of continuing to be confident, out of continuing to be strong and walking through your calling in order to achieve more. Do not let anyone manipulate you out of that. Okay? These people have a problem. Whoever's doing this to y'all and to myself or whoever, these people have a problem, and that is between them and God. And God said there are serious consequences when it comes to things like this. Okay, remember that. But as long as you remember that you are covered, you are protected, and as long as you remember that you have no control over the way people think about you, how they feel about you, and that is something that they have to deal with within them. As long as you understand that, please maintain your peace. Please maintain keeping your heart right, and just forgive them. Okay? Forgive them. Eventually, they will stop. If it's a narcissist you're dealing with, they may continue going, but that is not your problem, and you have no control over that. The only thing you can do is pray for them and pray for their soul and pray that they repent, and that's all you can do. Other than that, continue to move forward, continue to be happy, and choose to live your best life through Christ. Okay? I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.